structure in this condition might contain pristine pre-war artifacts. We should search it carefully.
This is private property.
Go away.
Let me in. Edward Deegan asked me to come here.
Oh, it's you. Good. Come on in.
Come on. Let's go meet the boss. Jack, the new guy is here.
One moment. I just have to...
He'll be right with us.
Oh, damn. Clearly, I'll need to adjust the mixture. Hello. Welcome to Cabot House. I'm Jack Cabot.
Pleased to meet you, Jack.
And I am very pleased to meet you. Edward finds it tiresome, but I always like to know personally everyone who works for me. Please, have a seat. How about a drink? Edward, the good bourbon, eh?
Amazing. It's
Please,
as if time
have a
itself
seat.
has avoided this place.
Now, before we get down to business, I have a question I like to ask all my new employees.
Is this really the time
Don't
for...
interrupt, Edward. The question is this. Do you believe there is other intelligent life in the universe?
The universe is a big place. Anything could be out there.
Wonderful. Most people's minds are too narrow to admit the possibilities of an infinite universe. But I'm not talking about flying saucers and little green men. I'm talking about the hidden history of our planet. The very origins of human civilization. Ancient powers that modern science, even at its pinnacle, could barely begin to comprehend.
That's really interesting.
This is all just smoke and mirrors and fictional nonsense. I thought you had a head on those shoulders.
I'm glad to hear you say that. It's become my life's work. My approach is to combine a rigorous scientific method while keeping an absolutely open mind. So much has been closed off to us simply because people assumed they already knew the answers. My father excavated a city in the Rub al-Khali in Arabia, which he dated to more than 4,000 years before the rise of any known human civilization. The structures and artifacts were strange, disturbing even. Clearly not constructed for or by humans. I've spent my life trying to decipher what he uncovered.
Jack, can I tell him what I need him to do?
I'm sorry, Edward. I just get carried away sometimes. You're sending him to look for the missing shipment.
Yeah.
Well then, I'd better leave you to it. We'll talk more about this some other time, when things are less rushed. It isn't important now. Welcome to the family.
Okay. You're officially hired. Congratulations.
What was all that about?
Don't worry about it for now. That's part of the job, by the way. It's best to keep an open mind. Jack may be eccentric, but he's definitely not crazy. The job I got for you is simple. Jack owns a facility north of the city. There's an important package that went missing between there and here. I need you to track it down and bring it back to me. Any questions?
I hope you have more to go on than that.
Don't worry. I don't expect you to do the impossible. Not on your first day. You should start at Parsons State Insane Asylum. Don't let the name spook you. It's just a secure building that we're using. We think the courier got ambushed as he was leaving the place. The guards heard gunfire in the distance, but we don't know exactly what happened. Check in with Maria at Parsons. She's in charge of the security force there. She can point you in the right direction. You all set then?
Yep, I'll see you soon with the package.
Good luck. Don't get killed on your first job.
Hi.
This place is off limits. You'd best move along.
Edward Deegan sent me. I'm looking for a missing package.
Oh, you're the new guy. So this package... Pretty sure we know where it is. The guys that shot Ben are holed up in the Parsons Creamery, just north of here.
Thanks for your help.
Sure thing. Hey, be careful. It's weird that they're still hanging around so close. Normal raiders would have grabbed the loot and bugged out by now. It's like they're scouting the place or something. I'll be glad when you clear them out.
Whiny little punks like you.
Maybe Lefty won't like it much when I tell him how much you love him.
Hearing shit.
Pick up
never know what you'll find.
Talk to Maria if you need anything. Maria's in charge.
Doors open.
That is not acceptable. Imogene is missing, and I want her found.
She's not missing, Mother.
Do you know where she is?
No, but that doesn't
Your sister is missing, and I want her found. What else is Edward for, if not to keep the family safe?
I'd be happy to send someone to look for her, ma'am. It's not
as if time itself has avoided
better
this
things
place.
to do than sending someone
So
out
did
to
you find out what
Imogene.
happened to the courier?
Again.
Imogene is out there somewhere, maybe even lying dead in a ditch, and you don't even care.
I'm not going to have Edward drop everything just because Imogene decided to take a lover again.
Jack, how dare you speak so disrespectfully about your sister?
Tick-tock.
Hardly worth my time. Just a few raiders who ambushed him.
I don't like raiders operating so close to Parsons. I hope this isn't the start of something serious. What about the serum he was carrying? Did you get any of it back?
If she wanted us to know where she went, she would have told someone.
There was only this one vial left.
Oh, good. I was afraid we wouldn't get any of it back. Here's your pay for the job. I'm throwing in a little bonus for bringing back the serum. That was good work. Now, as far as what's next. Oh, hell. I guess it's time you met Wilhelmina. Jack's not gonna be happy about it. Come on.
I insist you send someone to find Imogene.
We've been over this, Mother.
If your father were here, he'd...
Jack, I'll take care of it. Mrs. Cabot, don't worry. I'll send someone to find Imogene.
Thank you, Edward. I can always count on you. Why can't you be as devoted as dear Edward?
You shouldn't indulge her, Edward. It just makes her more impossible to deal with next time.
Just doing my job. Speaking of which, here's all we got back of the last delivery from Parsons. Raiders got the rest of it, I'm sorry to say.
Ah, good. Finally. This will help settle Mother down.
Imogene is Jack's sister. You probably figured that out yourself. She's, a little flighty. Impulsive. From time to time, she runs off. Usually with a new boyfriend. Then I send somebody to bring her home.
Sounds like a piece of cake.
I don't know where she's gone, but I can give you a place to start. She's been spending a lot of time in Good Neighbor. That's a jazz club there, the Third Rail. Somebody there must know something. She's not known for keeping her mouth shut.
I know the Third Rail. I'll ask around there.
Listening to a performance here would have been extraordinary.
Hey.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad to see a new face around here. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken? Do you ever wonder why things can't be the way they were in the good old days?
I don't have time for this.
You should make time for something this important, neighbor. Something that could change your life, and maybe the whole Commonwealth. We call ourselves the Pillars of the Community. We're a pretty new movement, so you may not have heard of us. But we're growing fast all across the Commonwealth, and you can be part of this exciting future. Step right this way, and I'll be happy to tell you all about our movement and how you can be a part of it.
I don't want whatever you're selling.
I'm not selling anything, neighbor. I'm giving away the secrets of long life, happiness, and prosperity. Giving them away. What do you say? Ready to take that first step into a new life?
You owe it to yourself.
Not a chance.
To give it a
Well,
chance.
I'm sorry to hear that. I really can't take no for an answer, though. Once you find out all the benefits of being one of the pillars, I think you'll see where I'm coming from. Don't worry. I don't bite.
Excuse me.
You should talk to Brother Thomas about how to join our movement.
Right this way, neighbor. I'm always excited to welcome a new member into our fold.
Hello, neighbor.
Safety's off. I don't like the look of this place one bit.
I toss out the troublemakers. Keep that in mind.
Smell that? That's freedom.
Oi, we got beer. If you ain't buying beer, you ain't buying.
Yo, do you know Imogene Cabot?
Name rings a bell. Kind of balmy. Haven't seen her in a while, though. Try Magnolia. She likes to make friends with people. She might know more about this missing bird. Magnolia! This guy wants a word.
Excuse me, miss?
What's the matter, handsome? Don't tell me you didn't like the song.
I just wanted to talk to you.
Well, I thought that's what we were doing. Now, there's something special about you, isn't there? Don't tell me. Let me guess. It's your eyes. Quick and intense. I bet you never miss a detail, You like what you see? So what brings a man like you to my part of town?
I came here for the music.
Flatterer. I think you and I are gonna get along. So it's my turn to answer questions, right? What can I do for you?
Do you know Imogene Cabot?
Imogene? Sure. I know her. I haven't seen her in a while, though. Are you a friend of hers?
She's missing, and her family's worried about her.
Well, I'm glad somebody's looking out for her. She seems like a body that could use looking after.
Please, tell me what you know.
There was this preacher fella who used to come in here all the time. One of the slick ones. Always going on about remaking your life and so on. Most of the customers wouldn't give him the time of day, but Imogene, she latched on to him for some reason. I don't suppose it hurt that he was easy on the eyes. Intense. Some women find that irresistible. Pam, would you come over here a minute?
Is there a problem, Miss Magnolia?
No, this fine gentleman here was just looking for Imogene. Do you happen to know where that preacher fella came from?
Brother Thomas.
Yes, that's right. The one Imogene was always hanging on.
Had to throw him out. Wouldn't stop bothering customers with that salvation racket. Kept going on and on about joining him at the back bay. Then he'd shove those stupid flyers in your face. Here, I kept one of them, just in case he didn't pay his bar tab.
Well, thanks, honey. You were a big help.
Anything for you, miss.
I hope Imogene's all right. I didn't much like the idea of her going off with that preacher fella.
Sweet Pip-Boy, brother. You hold on to that.
Downstairs. Don't bother the other patrons.
I'm always excited to welcome a new member into our fold.
Welcome. I hope you decide to become one of the pillars of the community.
I hope you decide to change a life today.
Don't worry. I don't bite. Right this way, neighbor. I'm always excited to welcome a new member into our fold. Alrighty, I hope you're as excited as I am. This is one of my favorite parts of the job, getting to welcome new members into our movement. The first step is simple. You have to learn to give up your attachment to material possessions in order to gain the ability to have true wealth, health, and happiness. Just go ahead and give me everything you own, and I'll initiate you as a first-level pillar of the community.
I'd advise against his suggestion.
I'm actually just looking for Imogene Cabot.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Imogene is indisposed right now. She's not seeing visitors.
Her family's worried about her.
You can tell them that she's fine. Not that it's any of your business, but she and I are just having a little relationship trouble. You know how it is. She's not seeing anybody until she cools off.
I'm going to see her, one way or another. Your choice.
One way or another, we're going to see her.
Wow. You went right to throwing your weight around. I thought we were friends. If you want to see her so bad, don't let me stand in your way. Here, I'll unlock the door for you. She's all yours, neighbor.
You must be Imogene.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
You're Jack's sister? I was expecting someone a bit younger.
You really know how to flatter a lady, don't you? Just to be clear, I'm I'm Jack's younger sister, the baby of the family. Once I get home and get some of Jack's serum, I'll be back to my usual stunning self.
Jack has a serum that reverses aging?
It's more like it halts aging. I started taking it when I was 32, so normally that's what I look like. You'll see once I get my treatment. I was well known as one of the belles of Boston society, back when there was any.
Actually, there's only one vial of the serum left. Raiders got the rest.
I'd better get home before Mother convinces Jack that she needs all of it. That he could still be such a mama's boy at his age is ridiculous. I'm so disappointed in Thomas. He seemed so interesting at first. But after we came here, he turned out to be just another brute. He actually thought he could force me to join his absurd cult.
Need anything before we go?
No. I didn't bring anything worth taking with me. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first.
We're always looking for new members.
We don't have anything to talk about.
Go ahead. Damn, the signal is strangely weak. Edward, switch over to the Hartley modulator. Do you copy?
Now, how's this?
Amazing.
Oh,
It's as if
that's
time
done
itself has
Edward,
avoided this
what's
place.
going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that... For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry, things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office, elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward? Come in! Edward! Ah! There's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's happening, Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free him...
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
I found Emma Jean. She's fine.
Oh, yes, good.
Thank God. At least one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward usually handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here, I hope that's the right amount. Now, we really need to focus on the current emergency.
How can you be so callous about your sister's safety?
I wonder if these could be the same raiders that stole that last shipment. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
What exactly does this serum do?
I suppose it's time you knew. The main benefit of the serum is to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old. But it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole. It increases strength and resistance to all kinds of physical damage. So at least some of these raiders may be much more dangerous than the ones you're used to dealing with.
If you're 400 years old, then you were born before the Great War.
Yes, I think you were too. I'd say mid-21st century?
That's right. I was in cryosleep until recently.
Interesting. We'll have to talk more about that later, but time presses. Is there anything else before we get going?
I think it's time you told me what's really going on at Parsons.
You're right. It's past time you knew.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling him all this?
My father, Lorenzo Cabot, is confined in Parsons. He became dangerously unstable after handling an artifact he found on an archaeological dig in Arabia. He gained various seemingly paranormal powers, as well as becoming increasingly irrational and violent. In the end, I had no choice but to confine him, for his own safety, as well as ours. In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. I will not allow that to happen. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with extraordinary abilities.
Then I guess we'd better make sure he doesn't get loose.
Exactly right. Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, you need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
Got it.
Good. Make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And try not to hurt him.
I love Father at least as much as you do. But you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only be one option.
Don't let it come to that, please.
I'll do my best, Mother. And if Imogene finally comes home, for God's sake, don't let her leave again until I get back. Now, I really do have to go.
I don't need anything right now, thank you.